Hey everybody, how are we doing live on a Tuesday evening? I am sitting on the One Live couch with a Mr. Mark Ellis, aka Fairweather and Son. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
I am doing very, very well. I'm not actually. I was made to sit in the cold today. I don't know how cold it is in Scotland, but I was made to sit in the cold by one of my colleagues. She decided to switch the one and only heater off in the office. So my fingers have
Oh,
been like ice all day. It's been horrible.
no, that's not fair. That's not fair.
It was
It's
mean, absolutely mean
it's
of her.
yeah, yeah. It's chilly up here, but it's not too bad. It's better than it has been.
Good. But we've been watching All About You in the UK on the national news. Every single time there's a new name storm, we do love a big storm in the UK at the moment. We do give it a special name, and I think we should start naming it ourselves. There's so many. But every time
Yeah,
it comes up, it's Scotland's been battered, Ireland's been battered, so we
yeah.
do worry about our artists up in Scotland and in Ireland and how they're surviving. So are you safe? Are your trees okay? Are your cars okay? Are you
Yeah,
safe?
I'm East Coast, so we did get hit by the storm. It was really blustery last week, like more than I've ever seen
Oh.
in my life. But compared to other parts of Scotland and Ireland, it wasn't as bad. I think West Coast was a lot worse, and I've got friends out on the islands off the West Coast that they've not had power for days and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty
Well,
serious thing, but people
it
seem to be
is very
okay. So
serious. Very serious.
yeah,
We talk about weather. Weather seems to be affecting everybody. So let's stick on the signs of the weather in terms of One Live today. And I want to thank all of those artists in One Live who have contributed to the LA fires. Continue to put your singles over to that team. We spoke about the LA Fires CD and how big it would grow. I tell you what, when I jested that it's going for the Guinness Book of Records of the biggest playlist, I don't think I'm going to be far wrong. I keep seeing it grow
well,
every day. And I keep seeing the money that they are getting for the firefighters over in LA. And I was proud to do that show, but also proud to see the One Life artists getting behind that support, getting behind the CD, sending their singles in. Continue to do so because those fires are still raging over in LA. To all those in LA at the moment, our hearts are out with you. We know that you've lost a lot. We know you've lost, in terms of family, friends, and houses, and God knows what else. Our hearts are with you still at One Life, and we will continue to support you any way we can in the UK. If we can send over a single, if we can donate to your single, to your album, we will do so. But, I think we'll stick on that thought of weather because I think that seems to be affecting a lot of us at the moment. In relation
yeah,
to One Life, I just said to Mark where we are in One Life over the last 6 months. We have grown as a community. I want to thank you. I woke up yesterday morning. I don't know whether you do this, Mark, with your singles, but for some reason, I get really, really excited when a single has come out or a show has come out, and then all of a sudden, I wake up in the morning and I find a boom in views
oh
or
yeah,
boom in streams. There is nothing more exciting to wake up in the morning having a cup of tea, and all of a sudden, your YouTube subscribers were sitting at 360, and then one day they're sitting at 516.
amazing.
Exactly the same with the streaming. I woke up yesterday morning, I'd done one show with an artist, and all of a sudden there was 1.8 thousand people view my show with 100 likes. And I'm like, what is going
Wow,
on?
that's
What have I
incredible.
done different? What have I done different to any other show? But do you know what? Actually, I'm going to start on that today. Let's think about indie artists and how they depend on you out there to listen to their songs, to buy their merchandise, to support them through social media. It just goes to show the power of your voice, the power of your share, the power of you being a community like One Life can make a huge difference to an artist and a huge difference to their profile. It does not take 30 seconds to go on a website, go on a social media, like and share, subscribe, and that showed that yesterday for me. I thought, hang on a minute. I know that on YouTube, you've got to have 1,000 subscribers to make any money. And I think I was nowhere near it a couple of days ago. That's
Mm.
coming true now. And that little bit of money
Oh.
isn't going to go to me. That is going to go to a local and national charity who is going to benefit from that money. But that's all because of the community that we have in One Life, the community that we have in friends and family, and also fans. But actually, I tell you what, to each one of these indie artists, it means so much just to go on their website when they're sitting in a studio. And I mean, sitting in a studio for several hours, making their next song for you all to listen to. They are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into that single. And for you to just sit there and basically click a like and a share, that means the world to them, because that like and share just once becomes twice, becomes 3 times, becomes 1,800 times. And that can happen in a day. And when we're thinking about the modern world of streaming, actually, that's their income for the month. And I want people to think about that after tonight's show. How can you help the likes of Fairweather Sun in one night? Okay, when you're flicking through social media and you're flicking through TikTok, you know, and you're thinking, actually, do you know what? My friend Mark may need my help a bit more. Why don't you go on Mark's site? Why don't you flick through his music? Why don't you like and share his music? Because the more you do it, everyone else will just follow suit. It's almost like a little ant army. And I just thought that ant army last night for me meant an absolute wonder. And I texted the artist and said, don't know what you've done, but your likes and shares to our film last night has created a community. And actually, what you don't realize is there was 1,800 people listened to the fact that we were raising money for the Tim Tebow Foundation. And that just grew and grew and grew. And to me, my heart just went out to that foundation. I just thought, you know what? What an excellent opportunity to show everybody what they do. And that means more to me than anything. So well done, One Life. Well done, all of our family and community who have done that. Just one more thing on One Life before I start the show this evening. We do have our Rewind show on My Indie Radio. So Mark doesn't know about this. In the past 6 months, we have teamed up with a web service and promotion service who will be there to support our artists if they need any help in promoting their singles, their albums, their merchandise, anything to do with our public relations. We have teamed up with one of the best PR companies that is going. She is a multi-award winning PR company, and she is also one of the international singer-songwriters best when it comes. So we've got her on side. She is part of One Life. She is doing lots of work behind the scenes for us, including our One Life School, which will be coming to you this year in 2025. We're working really hard on that, and she is a big part of that. In relation to the radio station, what that gives you, it gives you great opportunities. She plays radio in France 7 days a week. There's loads of shows you can put your music to on those shows, play your singles, and also have it spread all over the world. She's also connected to a lot of radio shows in America, in England, in France, in Greece. There's loads of radio shows that they're connected to. So that's that bounce on effect. Your single goes over to there, and then it goes over to the next radio show, and that's how you collaborate. And I'll tell you what, it's an absolutely magical thing to happen. So in relation to My Indie, also what we're doing is we're doing a rewind show. So you will see Mark's show again in France, but you won't see me and him physically. You will hear it. We have an audio show which gets played every Thursday at 6 o'clock in France. Okay, and you can relive the show in audio while you're putting your dinner on, while you're making your dinner, okay, or while you're at work, okay. So another great opportunity to be able to join in with our artists, hear what their life story is in relation to music, and also the support to the local and national communities that we are supporting. So that's One Life. I haven't got much else to tell you in One Life. I do have the video, which has been sent over from the Tim Tebow Foundation. I say sent over. We cheat. We use YouTube. So we do, obviously when people do send in their videos, like our African orphanage, which I'm going to do a big shout out to because they make me smile every day. We have an African orphanage who are coming on next month, and they use music to support orphans in the community, to basically raise a smile to their face, to keep them going through all their hardship that they're going through. But they use singing and dance classes, and they get taught around in schools, at their homes. And I'm going to keep shouting them out because at the end of the day, I love waking up in the morning to one of the children who have sung me a song, done me a dance, and They are live next month, and I'm really looking forward to working with them. So the Tim Tebow Foundation, Mark, I don't know if you know much about the Tim Tebow Foundation. I'm going to find out a bit about, do you know anything about them?
No, I've never heard.
Ooh.
I
An
know.
artist not doing his homework. What do you reckon, everybody? Should we fine him already? Should we fine him $1 for not doing his homework before he come on the show?
I didn't see any mention of this in any emails.
No, there was no mention. I just made it up on the spot. So the Tim Tebow Foundation, Tim Tebow is an ex-American football player, professional football player, played for many American football teams. He got injured and then basically decided that he wanted to do some work into charity around the speciality around children who were trafficked and went through child sexual exploitation.
Right.
He built that charity in a big way in relation to working with lots of organizations in America. He met his partner who come from Johannesburg. She had a big thing about charity and also raising money. She supported children who were trafficked as well. They also support disabled people around the world as well and do many different sort of events supporting disabled children. They are a huge foundation. Raising lots and lots of support for families. They also do things like fostering families. They're connected to local churches. They basically bring children who are being trafficked and pair them up to foster families as well to make sure that the children aren't living on the streets. They are connected to a family who give them plenty of love, care and support. They also do a lot of governmental work around making sure that child trafficking becomes a thing of the past and also making sure that people are aware of the importance of supporting children who are going through that and families. The foundation is on our One Life webpage. Please go and visit it. Not just for you, Mark, but all those listening to tonight's show. This is week 4. Well done, indie artists. We have 3 indie artists left out of the 15. Out of the 11, 12 who have actually supported One Life this month, you have done fantastically well. You have raised over £300 for the Tim Tebow Foundation, but you just haven't raised money. You've also raised awareness, okay? Because in this month alone, it has been the biggest highlights month I have ever had. 12,500 views about the Tim Tebow Foundation we have had in this month alone. That means awareness to all those families who may need Tim Tebow's help. That is amazing. Well done, One Life. Well done, everybody. Big, big push this month, and I'm really, really proud of you all. So, as you don't know much about the Tim Tebow Foundation, we are going to play one of those videos, Mark. Tonight's show is a bit of a really difficult topic. We're starting on a really hard topic, and then we will basically ease off as we go in the week. But this is the last week for you to support this association as we move on Friday to a brand new charity who we're really looking forward to supporting. Don't know what it's going to be. We will do the Wheel of Charity again on Friday. And whoever gets it out of the 15 artists, one of you will get to be putting your charity forward for us to support for the month. So, Mark, before I dig in about what's been going over the last 6 months, we get a chance to sit back, watch a bit of telly together, have a bit of a coffee before we start the show, okay? So I'm going to go behind the scenes. I'm going to put on my show, and then we will get to yourself, young man, and find out what you've been up to since you last graced our stage at One Life, okay?
Sounds good.
Just going to set up just for a minute. Here we go. So tonight's show is about human trafficking, and it's how you, as an audience, can help basically get rid of this most awful subject. Okay, and this is presented by Tim Tebow himself.
Boys and girls all over the world are being abused and tortured, and we still don't even know their name. Their identity is unknown.
Every day, children under 12, some children as young as infants and toddlers, are at home, they're in their bedrooms, some children are being raped. The worst moments of these children's lives, they're being videotaped and they're being shared with other offenders all over the world. Every time an image is downloaded, it creates a demand for these images and these videos. And the only way to meet that demand is with new victims.
Many people refer to this as CSAM, child sexual abuse material. Sometimes people will refer to this as child pornography, but that's just not the truth. Out of all of these videos and images that are being distributed, we know through our team and partners, there are over 50,000 children's images that sit in a global database, and we don't know who they are, but we do know that God knows.
These children are literally waiting. They are suffering. They are crying. They are alone, and they don't think that anyone is coming to help them. But we can. We can build that army, and we can go get them. The reason we call this campaign Unknown is because that's how these children feel. They feel like nobody knows them, nobody sees them, nobody can hear them, but we see them. We know they're there.
And most have probably prayed many times, God help me, where are you? And maybe some of those prayers could be answered by you and me, our incredible team and partners, because we're saying yes to the worth and the value that every single boy and girl has. They are worth fighting for because we know that they are loved by our Heavenly Father, and He is also calling us to get to them.
We have 3 goals with our Unknown campaign. The number 1 goal, and probably the most important, is to unite countries and nations and law enforcement and partners together.
One team, one mission, and that is the mission of getting to as many boys and girls as possible. Number 2 is to train and equip the discipleship of rescue and the discipleship of victim identification, training and equipping of analysts, investigators, prosecutors.
The third thing is we need to prevent this from happening. So it's really important that we engage with government. And I can't think of any greater public safety goal than to rescue children being tortured. 50,000 children seems like a pretty daunting number. It's a city of children that we need to go find. But for the first time in history, we have technology to help locate these children. 10 years ago, we didn't have that technology, but we have it today. And that technology is going to help us find these children all over the world.
Our goal is to be able to push back this evil so that so many girls and boys go from unknown to known. And then they go from known to protected. Come be a part of this team that is trying to push back this evil and get to as many boys and girls as possible so that they can experience freedom and the faith, hope, and love that they are so worthy of.
Pretty powerful, eh, Mark?
Very powerful. We don't tend to think about these things day to day, do we? We just kind of get on with everything, but we know it's there, and it's great that someone's out there. People are out there trying to kind of do what they can to make that situation better.
I think the word prevent was a huge thing in the UK after the sad loss of the 3 girls that we lost recently. I don't want to dwell on it much tonight, but what I want to ask each and every one of you in one life tonight is basically think about the message. Think about, has your child been lost in whatever's going on the internet? You know, have their behavior changed? Have they become someone who they aren't normally? You know, us parents and us, you know, family members have a big role to play in being, you know, looking after our children, recognizing that there's changes in, you know, whatever they're going through. You know, when they're on the computer, you know, they could be accessing thousands of people who could be grooming them, could be talking to them when they're adults, when they're children. This isn't like meant to scare anybody. This is like exactly what the video says. It's a hidden world that we live in this day and age due to social media, and our children need our help. So, you know, out there in one life, okay, I want you to do one thing tonight. I want you to think about that video, but I also want to think, is my child lost? And if they're lost, or if they need help, or if they need support, then go and find it. There's plenty of support services out there, like the Tim Tebow Foundation, who will give you all the knowledge you need to keep your children safe, but all the knowledge you need to share your message. You're not alone. You're not on your own. And I think that's one of the biggest things that One Life is a Power is able to give you the support you need. Okay. If you've been affected by tonight's video, or if you've been affected by child sort of imagery or, trafficking or anything that is brought up in tonight's show, please make sure you get support. Please make sure you get help. Please make sure you talk about it and don't sit on it on your own. Okay. And I tell you what, all of these artists this month have raised awareness for this subject. And I know it's been a really hard month for all of them who have raised awareness for this subject, but each and every one of them will continue to raise awareness, continue to give support, because what they want to do in the end is make sure that our children grow up in a safe, loving community. Exactly what Tim Tebow is actually wanting to make sure that we never ever see this type of thing ever again. So thanks everybody. That's really hard for everybody to start the week, but I'm hoping that's going to get us all together in One Life and actually think, do you know what, we can do something. 2024 was a tough month, in terms of fires, famine, and, really bad things that happened. 2025, as Mark said right at the beginning of the show, is going to be a year where we celebrate, where we support, where, we change all the things that we could change and should be changing, okay? The wars are stopping, the things are getting better in a lot of ways, but it's up to each and every one of us to do that. We've all got our responsibility to be able to make this world a better place. And that's what One Life's about. And I think I sit here every night and I have a smile on my face because I know you out there, those 12,500 that appeared from nowhere, those subscribers that appeared from nowhere, have the power to be able to support those local and national charities in the best possible way, but also to click that magic button and make Fairweather and Son #1 in each chart that he's trying to work hard for in the month, okay? So let's talk about Measures, okay? Measures is your new single. It is an absolutely amazing song. I've heard it, and I know our audience are going to love it. So in terms of Measures, let's get some music on. Let's cheer people up. Tell people about Measures. Let's get a song on, and then we'll find out what you've been up to in the last 6 months.
Cool. Yeah, so the Measures came out last year. It was one of 3 singles I brought out last year, actually. And actually, it's a really, really old song. But I was, I've been going through a lot of change in life. I moved to Scotland last year and lots of existential thinking going on, and my mind went back to this song, which as I said, was quite a few years old, and I kind of thought, do you know what, it means more to me now than it ever has. And I didn't do anything with it whenever that was, 2014, 15. So it's a really old song. But because it means so much now, I just felt compelled to do something with it. And it is, essentially it is about somebody that has, just when you have your ups and downs, and you struggle with your confidence and all of these sorts of things. That's kind of what the verses and the bridge are talking about. But the chorus is just that lovely sentiment of like, but it's all right. There's joy in the little things, and that's the Measures part. Is you're gonna have a little bit of this, but you've also got a little bit of joy, and it's all good. So that's what that means.
Fantastic, and what a great song to cheer everybody up, but also what a great song for everyone to think about in terms of their measure of life. You've had a puppy day. I bet there's been something which has made you smile. Okay, so Measures, everybody. I'm going to put this on now.
I'm just sitting here waiting for something. Sitting here waiting for something good. I have drifted through my early years, but now I'm ready to find the truth. I could be a great success if I only had the nerve. I wanna be a top contender, but the easy way I'll never happy with the little things, it's alright by me. I'm finding out success comes in all kinds of measures, it's alright by me.
I love feel good songs. Absolutely love feel good songs. Great song, Mr. Great song. How's it going, streaming wise? How's it going? Is it been hitting the charts? What have you been doing with it? Where's the streaming going?
That's doing pretty well. I think it's oh god, now you're asking. I think it's just over 3,000 streams on Spotify, which for me is big. You know, and it's amazing. And last year was the first time I've been part of lots of different musical acts and done amazing things through them, and I'm really grateful for all of that. So many happy memories and yeah, just good times. But like now I'm actually backing myself. And like which has taken all this time. I'm 40 this year, and it's taken until this age to actually kind of have the confidence to back myself and kind of do things. So that's a thing. But then that's kind of a little bit about that, what that song reflects upon. Yeah, it's last year was the first year that I kind of went out on my own, and to see songs being well received, you know, you focus on the number, you do. It's just part of, you know, you have to think about it as business. And all that. It is what it is. But to have 2 singles in the thousands, for me is wild, absolutely wild, as me, and it just really helps me feel better, more confident, and like I say, we shouldn't get bogged down in the numbers, and it's not why we do it. And my music is, as most artists, I'm sure, is incredibly emotional, and it's cathartic, and I love making it. I mean, I loved making that record, and when I got the master back, I cried because I was just so proud of it. And it just felt like a big weight. Like, you know, you put so much of yourself into it, and it just felt like a big weight had been lifted to hear it come back. So we do it for all those reasons, but it is great that it's doing well and people like it, you know.
Good. Where were you when you first heard your song back? You know, did you play it in the car or did you play it at home? I know when my singles come out live, I'm like, I was cooking when 9,000 Miles come on, and it's like I got a text message saying, "Oh, it's now live on like Amazon and like Google and things like that." I was so excited. I was like, "I've got to play it! Do you remember where you were?
Well, I mean, I do that, all that stuff, but I remember because, you know, I sent it off to the mastering engineer myself and all that, as we all do. And when I got it back, you know, the temptation was there to listen to it in the car, and that would have been great. But I wanted to treat myself, and I was going to listen to it, so I listened to it in my home studio through my nice proper studio monitors, and I was just like, oh my god, this is just it just blew my mind. I can't, you know, I honestly still can't believe that, because my pal Chris produced it, like we made that, I made that, like it's madness to me. So just feel really lucky.
It is madness. I think people, when we bring singles out, you know, we love it just as much for ourselves as what we do for the people who we play it to on the radio, or we go and play it in a festival on the stage for the first time. You know, when we release a song and it comes back to us on that master stage, it's just like, it's so exciting. You know, you always get a real big buzz, and you don't really. I think you go through so much emotions and effort putting that song together. I think, you know, how long did it take you to do Measures?
I mean, Measures was probably a total of 3 days. You know, a day to track, well, maybe a wee bit more actually, but let's say a day to track it, a day to mix it, and a day to master it. You know, it's a lot of work.
It takes me 3 years.
Say again.
You made me feel bad. I said you made me feel bad now. It takes me so long to do them. Everyone's like, "You bringing out another song, AJ?" It's like Mark does it in 3 days. I do it in 3 years. I'm terrible.
Well, if you want to slap on the 10 years previous that I sat on that song, you can.
Oh, right, okay.
It didn't exist. So it didn't exist for a while, that's another kind of crazy thing. But also, it doesn't matter how long it takes or what the right or wrong process is. That's not a thing, as far as I'm concerned. Whatever makes you happy.
We have not seen you for 6 months. You were one of our first indie artists that we interviewed in relation to the podcast shows. I don't know where the last 7, 8 months has gone. I really don't. They have just flown by. But you must have got up to a lot since we last saw you. So we haven't got much time to reflect on that tonight. But 2024 has come and gone. What were your highlights that you really had a massive smile on in terms of 2024?
I think, there's a lot of personal stuff. So moving from just outside Cambridge in the UK to Scotland, I live in Edinburgh now. That was a big thing for me. I feel like I'm home now. It's long chats and for another time. So that's pretty massive. And I'm starting to produce other artists now, which is incredible, and a really great privilege. And getting to everything we just spoke about there, about how amazing we feel, getting to deliver that for somebody is pretty incredible. So that's great. And as an artist, 3 singles, really good. In the midst of changing my life, I'm really happy with that. And I'm just so grateful for the people that have listened to it, truly, and that like it. It blows my mind. And I did the first show. I did some really good gigs last year, and I'm so grateful for that.
Whereabouts were they? Were they in Scotland, or did you end up doing them all in Cambridgeshire?
Mixed. So I did a couple down south before I left. One in particular, which was in Cambridge, was almost a sellout, and it was a really special night. And that was great because it was almost like a farewell as well. Although I will be back down south to do a gig later this year. But then I did one in Edinburgh, a really cool venue called Sneaky Pete's, which all of my friends who live up here are like, "Oh my goodness, Sneaky Pete's! I've not been in there in years." So it's this iconic place that everyone seems to know, and I just got a gig there, and yeah, it's my first gig as me in Scotland, and it was incredibly busy. And really emotional. And it felt
there must be a big difference, but me and Mark know each other through sort of like where we lived and things like that. I lived in Cambridgeshire. There must be a huge difference between Cambridge and Scotland in relation to the music scene. You've moved up to Scotland. You've moved up to one of the biggest capitals of Scotland in terms of Edinburgh. For those artists who want to come and play in Edinburgh, what are they going to be expecting? What's the music scene like and the reception to indie artists?
I think it's great. There's a lot of talk about Glasgow being kind of like the hip, cool music capital of Scotland, which I do think that is completely true. It's an amazing city, and I've had the privilege of doing 1 or 2 bits over there on the west coast. But people sort of moan about Edinburgh not being as kind of hip and cool. But from my perspective, and this is not a diss at Cambridge, there's loads of people doing great things, and it's honestly, there's nice little bits there if you look for it, but it's just not as active. And from my perspective, like, Edinburgh's amazing. Sneaky Pete's is a great venue, as I mentioned. Bannerman's, Voodoo Rooms, La Belle and Jet. There's just lots of really nice, like, wee venues, intermediate up to, Festival Hall, Usher Hall, and all that. So there's a nice spread of stuff and Edinburgh has all these things going on, and I think the same with Glasgow. But it feels like a small community. So once you kind of meet a few people, opportunities are there, and people. One of the reasons I came to Scotland is because I find the people here to be incredibly open and supportive, And that's true of people all over the place, isn't it? It's just your own. That's my lived experience, right? Whenever I've been here, I've felt nurtured, and I'm still finding that to be true. So, yeah, there's lots of cool places to play here.
Fantastic. Two things I really want to know is one: are you eating haggis for breakfast every day?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said if I hadn't had it for a brunch once or twice in Morningside, which is a nice area of Edinburgh, as a wee treat. And it was, of course, Burns Night on Saturday.
It was on Saturday night. Yeah, we celebrated it in the UK. I went out to a pub and club in Torbay on Saturday for Burns Night. It's a great celebration, isn't it, in Scotland when it comes to Burns Night? Was you gigging? Did you gig on Burns Night?
I wasn't. So it was a very subdued haggis by myself in the end because of the storm Airwind that we had. Hopefully it's going to be rescheduled, but I had actually arranged to go to one of the oldest Burns nightclubs. Yeah, I suppose that's what they would call it. In the world, which is Trinent Burns Club, which is a village not too far from Edinburgh. And a friend of mine, his dad used to be chairman, so I got invited. And that is a kind of like a 4 or 5 hour long thing. So there's lots of readings, and there's also performances of the songs and all sorts of things. So it's a very traditional affair. So I hope I get to do it at least once. And we'll see how I enjoy it. It does sound like a long evening.
Fantastic. Well, for our One Life Indie artists, we do have a specialist over in Scotland now. So if you are touring the UK and you want to come and play in the venues over the UK, we finally have someone who is living in the wonderful world of Scotland. There is a couple of Scottish artists in the One Life team, and we're going to make sure there's some great venues for you to come and play at, because it sounds like it's a wonderful time. And you're also picking up the language, Mark. I can hear the wee man in you.
Oh, I'm one of those people that my voice changes depending on who I'm talking to. But like I've always had, even before I moved here or whatever, like I just like saying we. Who doesn't like saying we? It's cute, it's nice.
Wee man.
But that's probably, and I'll say I. In the right moment, I'll say I. But I won't say anything else. Like I'm gradually learning different colloquialisms.
I bet you are. I bet you
One of them is do you ken, right? So do you ken doesn't sound like dear Ken. It's do you know? Do you ken?
Right. Okay.
So if someone says do you ken where the nearest place is, that's what that means.
Okay, fantastic. So for all those people who know Scotland, in 6 months' time when we meet Mark Ellis, he'll be dressed up in his kilt, no underwear, ginger hair, and he'll be talking a wee man, and he'll be talking Scottish in no time. That's my best Scottish. I'm rubbish when it comes to Scottish accents, so all those people in Scotland are going to trounce me now. I don't do Scottish accents, but I thought I'd give it a try tonight. Best of luck, mate. You've moved to a great place.
I don't want to offend my family, my Scottish family. I'm not going to do it.
Scottish family? Is that why you're up there?
No, I don't actually have Scottish family, but the people of Scotland are mine.
The board of the people. Yeah, he's trying to settle in everybody. We won't embarrass him too much, and we won't get him to do a Scottish accent, because at the end of the day, he's got to get gigs up there while he's up there.
Exactly.
Anyway, Mark, one of the things that we do on One Life, and we're racing towards this show like the month has been racing. In relation to One Life, we do invite our artists to talk about their special charities that they relate to and they work for, or they produce singles for, or gig for, and everyone's got an opportunity to bring their charity alongside our charity of the month. So you have chosen Mind, mental health charity. So do you want to tell everyone out there over the next couple of minutes, a bit about the Mind charity and why that means so much to you?
Well, I think, it's sort of clues in the title, isn't it, really, with that. Mental health is a huge thing. We've been gradually talking about it more and more for a while now, actually, which is really, really, really good, but it's still hard. And I think it's really hard if you're in it, because I've been in it. it's really hard to reach out of that. And Mind is obviously, going to have people there that are equipped to talk to people and kind of teach people mechanisms in how to kind of cope with the spiral, and all of that sort of when you start to have bad thoughts, you just kind of way down and all that sort of stuff. So to have a support mechanism for moments like that, it's pretty important, pretty amazing, and that's certainly a big part of what they do. So yeah, and mental health to me is incredibly important. I think in real life I've probably struggled with it for longer than I realize, because I can remember. This is very sad, everyone, but it's okay. It's good to talk about it.
It is good to talk.
It's very important to talk about it, especially men, guys. I remember just being really sad at points when I was a child. That happens because you've tripped and you've grazed your knee, but it also was just happening. And I'm just a very emotional dude. So being a teenager was tricky at points, as it is for everyone. But I was always kind of just a bit extra on that sort of stuff. And it's only really when I turn into my 30s that I start to kind of go, okay, maybe I need to talk to somebody. Maybe I have an issue and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a difficult one. So it's one that's kind of really close to my heart anyway.
Good. And then I think mind and mental health, we bring upon sort of the mental health awareness months coming up very soon in the UK. And talking about indie artists, we've seen some tragic stories, Liam Payne, of lots of mental health. For anybody who's going through mental health, the Mind charity in the UK is one of the UK's biggest charities for mental health awareness and support. If you want to find out information about Mind, I will talk to Mark and get some of the information on One Life. I have been sharing some posts throughout the day. But we will share more posts throughout the day. But if you want some support from One Life, we have our very own mind wellness coach and well-being coach who will be part of our One Life school. Tim Steinrook, the mighty one, that's his bread and butter. He is a well-being coach. Go to his pages. He's got some great tips and advice on keeping yourself well in terms of your emotional and mental health as an indie artist. And, please follow him. And follow his daily videos that he does because he's an absolutely amazing man. And yeah, please use Mind. We will be talking about mental health in a lot of our shows, but we will put Mind as part of the focus for this month, and we'll get as many things as we can. So, Mister, we're gonna cheer you up. We're gonna put a smile on your face because it is time to play your next song, but it is also after that time to empty your pockets for the Tim Tebow Foundation. Okay. So the next track of yours, I'm not quite sure that's you. So you have put Lazy Bones as your next track single, and I don't think you've been lazy over the last 6 months. You've had a massive move from Cambridge over to Edinburgh. So Lazy Bones, where was that? Was you thinking of yourself as a teenager?
That's you kind of really hit it there. So
hey, look at that.
It's actually a really sad song, guys. So sorry.
Oh, okay.
But it touches on exactly what I was just saying. So yeah, what teenager isn't lazy, right?
We all want them.
We all do it. But some days that is still a thing. It's being hard on myself, but we all have these moments still. I think even when you get older or whatever. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there's these times when you're kind of doom scrolling and you're kind of stuck in a funk, and then you start to feel bad because you're not being productive, you're not doing anything, and then you spiral and blah blah blah. And your thought in the moment is that you're lazy, and then people tell you that you're lazy, say, and you believe it and you buy it, but actually what's happening is you're depressed, or you've got ADHD,
Something on your
and you
mind.
don't know it, you know, and that's kind of what the song is about. You know, it's about someone struggling actually with
Okay.
that. And
Well, I'll tell you what, we are going to put that song on, and there's a lot of people going to relate to it. Okay, but while we do it, we are then going to play our game show. If you want to join along on tonight's game show and you want to also give money to Tim Tebow Foundation, have a go at the quiz, see if you can beat Mark in his specialised area, which I'll tell him what it is after we play his song. Okay, so Lazy Bones, everybody.
God damn, I'm trying. So sick of lying in my bed when there's so much I've gotta do. So tired of thinking. My head keeps spinning to the ground. Oh Lord, what I'm going through. I guess it's just lazy bones, 'cause they say I've got lazy bones. I've got good intentions, got a plan, it's written on the wall. 10 steps to win it all. But here it comes again, like a wave through my mind. Here it comes again, this cruelty of mine. Oh, I know how to find my way down. I guess it's just lazy bones, 'cause they say I've got lazy bones. I guess it's just lazy bones, 'cause they say I've got lazy bones.
Fantastic. Oh, Mark, you've got such a lovely voice.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Every time we talk, you know, I hear your songs, and you just got a great voice. I just love your voice. Okay, great lyrics
Thanks,
as well,
man.
Mister. And a lot of people are going to relate to that song. And I'm sure, like your
I hope
other
so.
one measures, it's hitting the streams. Okay, so right, time to pick you up, Mister. I have been delving into your secret files, and one thing I know is that cat does not leave your shoulder. It is
He's my
always in
best
every
pal.
picture.
By
It's
the way,
your
I'm just
best
gonna move
pal.
so I can put my phone on charge because it's just saying it's going to go. And I don't want to do that for everyone. So
Typical
ignore
live
me, but
show,
yes, my
you know.
cat
You
is-
just go and charge your phone, you know, in front of everybody. You know, you're only playing out to Facebook, YouTube, and X, and we're just like charging up our phone, you know, going into the darkness.
Don't mind me. There you go. See,
Don't
we're
mind
into the
Mark,
light.
you know.
It's fine.
We're just gonna have a look around the house. I'll tell you. What was
steal my
that show? I
plans.
can't remember what it was. When you used
There
to
you
walk around people's homes, wasn't it?
Oh, through the keyhole.
Through the Keyhole. So yeah, so tonight on Through the Keyhole, we are looking at Fairweather's son's house.
Well, look. Here we go. So you can kind of see all my plans for the year. There you
All
go.
the plans for the year at his house. Well, let's just hope we don't find anything embarrassing while we walk around the house.
You're fine.
Good. So, This is in honor of your cat, and your cat's name is, remember?
He is Cuomo.
Cuomo. So, Cuomo, if you're listening, this is a homage to you. We're going to do a quiz about cats. This is Mark's specialized area. He constantly posts his cat, and he loves his cat that much that he's going to empty his pockets all in the aid of the Tim Tebow Foundation, because I tell you what, if he's got all the knowledge that we know he's got about cats, actually, it's going to be a very cheap night, and he won't have to give much to charity. Or does he? See if you can beat him tonight, everybody. So all of this is cat questions. So 10 cat questions, okay? Basically, the rules is £2 per question. If you get it wrong, you get to donate to the Tim Tebow Foundation, okay? So we're going to add this to the stage. Enjoy the show, everyone. Enjoy the quiz, everyone. Come and join along. Put your comments in the comment section on One Life. Let's see how many people get the questions right tonight. So this is called the Ultimate Cat Quiz. Okay, I'm just behind the scenes, Mark. You won't see me, but, you know, please don't pull any faces. Okay, so let's play tonight's quiz. Let's play you a little bit to make sure you can hear it first.
Before starting, please subscribe to our channel for more exciting quizzes.
Sounds good.
Welcome to the Cat Trivia Challenge.
Okay, could you hear it?
I could. Yeah.
Fantastic. That makes my life a lot easier because I can't see what you're doing behind my back. So like I say, don't pull funny faces. I'm running the quiz, okay? So here we go, everybody. Get your pen and papers out and also put it on the comments. Let's go.
Think you know all there is to know about these adorable feline creatures? Test your cat knowledge with our quick and fun quiz. Let's get started. All kittens are born with what color eyes?
Okay. All kittens are born with what colour eyes, Mark?
Green.
You reckon green, do you? Let's see if he's right, shall we?
Blue.
The answer is blue. And your cat is sitting behind you in shame going, Dad,
He's
did you
got
actually
blue
look at me
eyes
when
as
I was
well.
a kid? Oh, dear, that's it. Jeez, you owe him. What's his special food? What does he like?
Well, he's quite bougie. I get him Lily's Kitchen, but he's particularly fond of a chicken yogurt. Anyone who's got a pet,
Chicken yogurt?
yeah.
Actually,
So you get
never
these little
heard chicken yogurt
sachets and
before.
just a little treat, basically. So he gets one of those a
There
day.
you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, chicken yogurt's coming his way, especially if you're not looking at his eyes. Okay, so the next question.
What is a group of kittens called?
Okay, do we know what a group of kittens are called? Are you still with us, Mark?
Yeah. You got me.
Yep, a group of kittens are called what?
A kit.
A kit. Let's see if he's right.
A Kindle.
It's a Kindle.
What type of cat is referred to as a foreign white?
Come on, get this one right. You're not doing very well. Those pockets are emptying very quickly.
A white Persian.
A white Persian. Let's see if you got this one right.
A white Siamese.
Oh, Mark! Come on.
Unbelievable. I love my
Do you
cat.
know anything about cat? You love your cat, obviously.
I love
but
my
you
cat.
don't know that much about cats, do you? Come on, mister. Let's see how many you can get right tonight.
What is a trademark of a tabby cat?
What's a trademark of a tabby cat? What do they do?
Oh, that's
I
a
think they're
tricky
talking
one.
about the texture
The stripes,
on the tabby
yeah.
cat's head, on their stripes. It's normally got like a little bit of a letter. But what letter is it?
I'm going to go with W.
W. Let's see if you're right.
An M
It's
on
an
their
M
forehead.
on their forehead.
What is the name of
Oh,
a group of
dear.
cats?
What's the name of a group of cats called?
Clouder.
The Clouder. Do you reckon we're right?
Clouder.
Yay! Mark's got one right.
What is the most
Well, it couldn't
sociable
have
of
been
all
Chowder,
cats?
could it?
What is the most sociable of all cats?
Oh, lion.
Do you reckon a lion? Let's see if you're right.
Lion.
Lion, there. You saved yourself some money.
Which cat is from the
Tigers and
ocelot
leopards, they hang
family?
out on their own. Oh,
Which cat is from the ocelot family?
it's not a ragdoll. A Berman.
A Berman, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Cod.
It's a cod. I don't even know what that is.
Which taste are cats unable to determine?
Oh, which taste are cats are unable to determine? Is it bitter, sour, or sweet?
These questions, man. Bitter.
Bitter. Looking at the cat at the table, with that face, does your cat come and eat at the table?
No, he's not allowed.
He's not allowed. He wouldn't come to the table at night time waiting for you to come home from a gig and look like that then, yeah?
I mean, he does look like that when I get home late, yeah.
Sweet.
The answer is sweet.
Ow.
What is the fastest cat in Africa?
What is the fastest cat in Africa?
It's between A and C, in it. I think it's a cheetah.
You think it's a cheetah?
Cheetah.
Hey, okay. So, Mark, just to make you feel very okay about yourself, you've got 3 at the moment out of 9. Okay, we're on question 10.
Okay.
Okay, it's been a bit of an expensive night for you at the moment, and your cat is looking in pure shame, going, "Do you know what? I'm going to hide my head and not tell my friends about my dad."
He doesn't want to be associated with me now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be associated with you today. He's like, "I thought my dad was a cat lover, and now I know that he doesn't even know the things that I don't like to do. I don't like sweet things." There's Mark giving him all the sweet stuff because he possibly can. Did you have chocolate? Did you have chocolate drops? The cat chocolate drops? You give him them?
No, I tell you what. There's a great donut shop in Edinburgh called Kilted Donut, and they do donuts for dogs, and they kind of also for cats. And I got him one, and he just didn't like it.
Exactly, because we know the reason why now, because they don't like sweet stuff. And we've educated you tonight, at least. Okay, so you've got 3 wrong. Okay, that means 7 out of those. So we'll work out the money in a minute. This is your chance on the last number to either salvage yourself and think, "Do you know what, 4's not a bad number," or go and hide your shame and actually treat your cat to a new toy, okay? So number 10, everybody out there in the audience, if Mark gets this wrong, his cat is going to get a lovely new toy by the end of the week, okay? Courtesy of One Life. Here we go.
What are the cat's whiskers for?
What are the cat's whiskers for? If you get this wrong, Mark, your cat gets a brand new cuddly toy.
Well, it's a sense of touch, but it is their way of seeing things as well as their
Which
eyes.
one is it? Which one is it?
Look, because it kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but you got to choose one.
I'm going to go with touch.
Touch. Let's see.
Sense of touch.
Hey.
Oh,
Which part of a
I
cat's
tell you
body
what,
can-
I'm sure your cat is absolutely spoiled rotten, and I see it every single day on your Facebook page. So I'm sure he's got enough toys as it is anyway.
He has a whole box full, and he has another one. So I accidentally knocked him off the bed the other day, and I felt really bad for it. So he took a bit of a tumble. So he has a new toy on the way. So,
Can I just ask a quick question? Can I ask a quick question? Sharing your bed with a cat, is it like sharing a cat, like your bed with your partner? Does the cat get that much of the bed and you're on the floor nearly, or?
I mean, as far as Cuomo is concerned, the bed is his.
But okay.
Just gradually, so he's very long cat. So just gradually, he just kind of elongates himself, and I just gradually have to shift across and get out of his way.
Fantastic. That sounds fantastic. So if you
think
want to
we
know
like
more, Good. If you want to know more about Mark's cat journeys, please go on his Facebook page, follow the cat journeys because they are there. I'm sure he probably plays more of a sort of journey than Mark's music does. There's more about the cat than he is his music. Anyway, Mark, 2025, we have just literally started. We are going quickly into February. We have got a couple of minutes. 2025, what's that looking like for you?
I've got a bunch of shows. We're back in Edinburgh, and there's a really amazing venue nearby, just right by the sea, in a place called North Berwick. So a couple of shows to kick the year off. I've got some festivals in the summer, which I can't announce just yet, but they're very cool, including one on an island, which is going to be fun.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And then there's going to be a UK tour in October, and a new record in the midst of all that as well.
Fantastic. Busy boy for the year then, yeah?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Keep on sharing on One Life. If we find anything that you haven't shared, we'll put it on One Life and we'll follow your journey over the next 6 months, because in 6 months' time, we are going to be bringing back Mark and AKA Fairweather Son to the One Life show, and we will find out if he really is a true Scot by the next 6 months. Anyway, Mark, there must be lots of people you can say thank you to in relation to supporting you over in Cambridgeshire until you move to Scotland, but all those friends you've made new in Scotland as well. Is there anyone you want to say a special thank you to in terms of supporting your music?
Yeah, my pal Louise. She was a really strong, quite fierce friend last year before I moved up, and whenever I kind of wavered, she was there to just get me over the finish line. And then all my pals that I already had up here, like my pal James and Tom and Al, who I live with, and Fergus, like the amazing guys that have really made me feel at home. And then special shout out, I've not seen her in a while, but hopefully we meet up soon. But my pal Corey, she's a new Edinburgh pal, and she's an absolute legend. So love you, Corey.
Fantastic. Brilliant. I'm glad you're making new friends up there in Scotland. We do miss you in Cambridgeshire, but we wish you all the luck in Scotland that the world can bring to you. In relation to the One Live show, I'm going to have to close tonight because we have got a very busy week. Okay, so if you want to come and join the One Live show, we have a day off tomorrow. We're going to be delving into our archives over the last 2 weeks and making sure all the musicians' music is on our YouTube playlist for 2025. We've got a bit of work to do because there's been so many artists, and we're also going to be linking these artists up to My Indie Radio to get their songs onto the radio as well. So tomorrow night, we're going to have a little bit of a break, but we will be putting our playlist for you to listen to, and while you're reading all about the Tim Tebow Foundation and all the great charities that we support. But then we're back live on Thursday night for the one, the only Darren Holland project is coming to our show at 7 o'clock on Thursday. It's going to be a great show, and it's just going to be an absolute cracker, as enjoyable with this young man. Okay, so Mark Ellis, aka Fairweather Son, it's been an absolute pleasure. We will see you in 6 months with a kilt and a Scottish hat on. Okay,
inevitably.
Enjoy yourself, young man, in Scotland. We'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Thanks, man.
And take care, everybody else. Have a good evening, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.